Hey guys, welcome to the Rachel Cruze Show. And today I am so excited to have the one and only Dr. Axe here. Thanks for being here.
Hey, I'm honored to be here. Thank you.
I'll tell you one viewer who's pumped, Sharon Ramsey.
Oh,
My
man.
mom loves Dr. Axe. She'll always send us articles and she's like, Dr. Axe said this is the type of sunscreen we should all wear. Like, oh yeah, it's everything all the time.
Your mom's fantastic. She's been asking me health questions for years. But I'm a huge fan. I love your family. I love the mission you're on. So I'm just excited.
You. So in this show, we always talk about your money, not necessarily your health and nutrition, but that is why I wanted Dr. Axe on the show. He's a popular doctor of natural medicine and a clinical nutritionist and the creator of draxe.com and the host of the podcast, The Dr. Axe Show. So I can't wait to dive in, but let's kind of like rewind and what caused you to get into this line of work?
Yeah, I got into the line of work through actually the way a lot of physicians do, and it's through a health crisis in their family. So for me growing up, my family was really into fitness. So my parents worked out a lot. My dad water skied and lifted weights. My mom was my gym teacher in elementary school. She was a swim instructor. So really fit, but at 41 years old, she was diagnosed with breast cancer, which is really shocking to us because from the outside, she looked so healthy. And we lived in what I'll call really the conventional medical system. Anytime we were sick, we didn't change anything. We just took medications and we didn't know there was a natural way to get healthy. So my mom at the time went through all the traditional treatment. She went and she had a mastectomy. She went through rounds of chemotherapy. And at the time I was in about 7th grade. And I just remember at the time thinking as my mom was losing her hair, as she was getting so sick, just thinking to myself, there's got to be a better way. And also thinking to myself, I want to help families. I want to help people not go through what my mom is going through right now. And praise God, she was brought through it and diagnosed as being cancer-free and healthy. But the crazy thing was, after going through all those conventional treatments like the chemotherapy, she continued to have more health problems. She got diagnosed with hypothyroidism, chronic fatigue syndrome, got put on antidepressant, anti-anxiety medications. And one of my memories of my mom growing up was she was always sick and tired. And this went on for many years, about 11, 12 years. And at that point, 11, 12 years later, I was actually studying to become a doctor. I was learning all of these things. And I was about to, 6 months later, go and move to Nashville and open up a functional medicine clinic. Well, I get a call from my mom and just in tears on the phone. And she says, Josh, I've got bad news. I've just been diagnosed with tumors on my lungs and they want to go in and do surgery and radiation. She said, what do I do? And I said, Mom, I'll be home. I flew back. We prayed together was the first thing we did. And we just felt this peace to take care of her all naturally. And we were talking to her oncologist at the time and her oncologist said, okay, I'm going to give you 4 months to do what you're going to do. But if nothing changes, then we need to go forward with the surgery. So with my mom, we just changed everything. We radically changed her diet. We had her start eating, a lot of things like a lot of vegetables. So we had her start juicing vegetables, had her start doing more salads, had her start doing more organic food like wild-caught salmon and bone broth, and also consuming superfoods like turmeric and reishi mushroom and using essential oils like frankincense. So we had her start doing all of these things. We also really worked on her mindset. She had a lot of fear and worry in her life. And so she changed her diet, she worked on her mindset, and we followed this program for 4 months. She went back to her oncologist 4 months later, and they called the next day, and their exact words were, this is highly unusual. We don't typically see this, but the tumors have shrunk by more than half.
Wow.
They said, we want to see you again in 9 months. She went back 9 months later, complete remission. And so she says she feels better now in her 60s than she did in her 30s. She brought my niece and nephew to Disney World and was there like 12 hours the other day. And I'm like, I don't even think I could do that.
That's right.
So anyways, she's doing really, so that's really what led me to, become a doctor of natural medicine and start, doing the things that I do.
Yes. Okay. So again, high level, but when you say natural medicine, because I feel like the natural way of living has become more normal, right? Over the last, 15 years or so. But what does that mean? Like when you say that, it means like no Cheez-Its or like,
here you go.
Give me the basics.
So I'll call it lifestyle medicine and food-based medicine. So if somebody goes into their traditional doctor, oftentimes what happens, and let me give an example would be diabetes, okay? If somebody goes in with type 2 diabetes, they'll say, okay, most doctors will say, here is a drug like metformin, here's a drug, or here's insulin. The thing about that is it never gets to the root cause of the disease versus natural medicine is, okay, you have type 2 diabetes. Number one, why do you have type 2 diabetes? You're getting way too many carbohydrates and sugar in your diet. So we're gonna remove the sugar. We're gonna get more healthy fats in, more healing foods. So what I would do is I would put somebody on a a diet plan, a supplement plan, and a lifestyle plan. Hey, get better sleep, move a little bit more.
Yep.
And that's really the focus of natural medicine.
Yeah, which is so good. I mean, like you hear it and I'm like, yes, like
it's common sense.
Yes, it really is. I mean, and again, my mother is 100% all the time in it. I hear it from her all the time. And I'm like, for me, the hard thing is like the convenience, right? So having kids and the snacks, you're grabbing stuff or you're out to dinner, you're at friends' houses, right? And so that consistency for me can be tough. But what would you say is more important? Because when I hear healthy lifestyle, it's exercise and diet, exercise and diet, exercise and diet. Which would you pick if you had to pick one?
I'm going to throw 80-20 here. I'm going to say diet. I mean, for the most part, I do think what we put in our body is the most important thing.
Okay, what are the 3 things? If no one is thinking about their health and what they're putting in their body, they're just kind of living their life, eating what they want. What are like 3 things they need to stop doing now? Like,
stop? Okay, so stop doing. Number 1, over-consuming sugar. I mean, that's the big thing. It's sugar and the refined carbs. I'm going to throw those in the same category because those cause inflammation. They cause bad bacteria to build up in your body. They weaken your immune system, which is huge. So sugar is the number 1 thing.
Which is kind of in everything though, right?
Sugar's added to a lot of things.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes. So you got to watch that.
And I used to tell patients, listen, it's not that you can never have dessert. Schedule in vacation meals twice a week, So
yes, that's doable.
That's right.
So sugar.
Yep. Number 2, I would say is the fast foods, full of hydrogenated oils, like French fries. I read an article recently that said French fries are when you eat a thing of French fries, it's equivalent of eating of smoking multiple cigarettes. It is that bad for your health. Now, I'm not trying to depress everybody here.
I can nix the sugar. I'm not a sweet tooth.
Yeah.
Never happened. But chips and salsa, French fry. I mean, all salt. That's my weakness.
Now, the thing I want to get into that I hope will uplift some people a little bit. It's not that you can't eat fried food. It's the type of oil that these fast food restaurants fry them in. I think you can make French fries at home. You can take potatoes, you can fry them up in coconut oil or avocado oil.
It's what it's made with.
Exactly. Get rid of the vegetable oils like the soybean oil and the and the canola oil and the vegetable oils. And
what do you think about grapeseed oil?
I think grapeseed oil is a good option.
Okay, good. I got one.
Yeah. Probably my 2 favorite though are olive oil and coconut oil.
Yes.
And then I would have avocado probably 3rd on that list.
Yes.
But those are the 3 good alternatives.
Okay, good.
And even grass-fed butter can be good.
Yes. Okay, perfect. So 3 things: sugar, oils.
That's right.
And then what would be the 3rd?
The 3rd thing I think people need to stop doing, and this is a little bit different than the other 2, it's people have to stop not having a plan and going to the grocery store when they're hungry.
Yes.
I think this is one of the biggest things I see with people. If somebody has a plan on, hey, I'm going to try and eat this for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm going to try and do my smoothie for breakfast, my salad for lunch, my healthy meat and vegetables for dinner, and I've got a shopping list, and I'm going to the grocery store, and I have a plan. Every time I see those people succeed.
Yeah, which is winning. I mean, it's being intentional,
That's
right?
right?
I mean, it's like with everything, and you can't just wander your way through life and hope to be healthy, right? You have to say, no, we're gonna make a plan. We're gonna know what we're doing and actually follow through and do it, which is huge. Okay, so eating healthy, having a healthy lifestyle can affect the budget. It can be more expensive. So I wanna go down a list.
Let's do it.
And you help me to see how can we save. Okay, vitamins.
So vitamins, here's the thing to remember is you don't need to take everything. Think about what you have going on, your specific health goal, and just take between 1 and 3 supplements for that. The other thing I encourage people to do is sometimes doing food-based supplements can replace meals. I'll give you an example. If you're making a smoothie, like this is what I do every morning for breakfast, I really just do 2 to 3 ingredients. I'll add in a cup of fruit, and I'll add in some collagen powder or bone broth powder that's a vanilla flavor, and that's my whole meal there. And that may just cost $1 or so for that whole meal, but certain things like greens powder, especially protein powders, if you're doing something like collagen, that actually can replace food you were doing because it really is food. And so in that way, you can kind of save money as well.
Yeah, that's so good. Okay, healthy foods. It's kind of broad.
Yeah.
But buying organic for, all of that.
So here's the big thing to remember when it comes to organic versus non-organic. By far the most important foods to buy organically are your meat and dairy products, because they store toxins more than plants do. And so if you're buying organic, the other thing I encourage people to do is go to your local farmer's market. Reach out to a local farmer. This is what I did, especially early on in my career when I was on even a smaller budget, is I went in with a couple of families and we bought a cow together and we took that meat, we froze it. And so I think thinking about meat that way, buying organic, even if it's not labeled organic, if you know it's healthier, So that's the most important to do organic. Number 2 is called the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. Okay, there are these lists, and basically here's what it is. Bananas have a thick covering over them. They're really not that important to buy organically. Neither are grapefruit. They have this covering protecting them versus lettuces are sprayed directly with a lot of chemicals and fertilizers. And so all that being said, but if you're shopping on a budget, really just try and focus on the meat products and if you do any dairy, and the others aren't really necessarily as important.
Yes, so good. This is like the line item that people bust all the time in their budget. Like when I talk to them about money, it's always food, always food. But buying in bulk is something that I love. I love Costco, and that's a great place to save money, would you say?
Fantastic. And one of the best things people can do to eat healthy on a budget is going to a place like Costco. So absolutely, buying in bulk is a brilliant strategy.
Be able to save money, okay. Toothpaste.
Wow. So one thing you can do, here we go, toothpaste. I have a great DIY recipe. I wrote a book called Essential Oils, Ancient Medicine. It's a book all about using essential oils. In this book, I go through a simple toothpaste recipe. You can buy a giant thing of coconut oil. You can make your own toothpaste using coconut oil, a little bit of baking soda, and something like peppermint essential oil. That's it. 3 ingredients, and it goes a long way.
Okay, deodorant. My sister-in-laws are on this kick because they're like, the deodorant is so terrible for us, and they're like making their own and everything.
There's a brand I love. It's called Schmidt's, okay? And they actually put in things like activated charcoal and magnesium and things. And so if somebody wants to buy a good one that works.
Yes.
Here's, just not to get totally off topic.
No, I love it.
Some of the natural deodorants, they are terrible.
Yes.
I mean, they do not work at all. In fact, you're like, this is, this is having the opposite effect. So, so all that being said, Schmidt's is a great brand. I do think you can make your own as well. And they call it, this may not sound like the most, most glamorous thing, but they call it pit paste. And essentially you take very similar thing. It's coconut oil. A lot of times people add clay in. It's called bentonite clay. And a little bit of, you could add in like shea butter, but people could search this online. I have it in my book, Essential Oils, Ancient Medicine, but you can also Google search homemade deodorant recipe, and you can save money that way too.
Okay, is it dangerous though? Because they're talking about your lymph nodes, like everything.
Yeah, well, the thing about a lot of the deodorants today is almost all of them have aluminum in them. And so aluminum has been connected to a lot of neurological diseases, dementia, and so aluminum does accumulate. Heavy metals accumulate in the body, and they don't leave very easily. So that's why there's a lot of concern about deodorants is all of the aluminum.
Everything going on there.
Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad we talked about the deodorant because my sister-in-laws, we've been talking about it over the past month or two. They're probably going to kill me. But I was like, what? I learned a lot. You learn a lot from people, They have all this new stuff. So there are, I feel like, a lot of health trends out there. You mentioned essential oils. Like there's a lot of things that people kind of gravitate towards or certain types of diets. So what are the things that you're like, yes, here are like 2 health trends that are going on that's an absolute that you need to invest in and have your life, it being part of your life?
Yeah, there are a ton of trends, a ton. One of the trends that I love is people working out at home. People can do this for free. You can go online. Like I did some exercise videos on my friend was posting some on YouTube the other day, and she was doing some stretching and working out videos that my wife and I did together, and we loved it. So I do think exercising at home in the comfort of your home, you just got to be disciplined. You got to put it in your schedule and get it done, have a room you're doing it in. But we do that, and I think that's a great, great trend that people can keep following. Another big one I would just say would be, these subscription-based food services. I do think it can be really good because if it can keep you from the unhealthy snacks and spending too much. And the other thing is you kind of know more about what you're spending oftentimes. And so I do like a lot of the food subscription services. And then also just cooking at home more. I think more people are spending time cooking at home. I mean, my wife and I, we love on Friday nights, we do like homemade pizza night. And so we'll get our own pizza crust, we'll buy our own ingredients and do it that way. So I do think those are some good trends people, and listen, there are plenty of bad trends. But those are definitely some good trends ones that I hope stick around and that are great.
Well, and all of that even saves you money, right? Okay, so there was an article that I read that you wrote about preventative medicine. Let's dive into that. I want to hear all your thoughts around it.
So, like one of the things, obviously, yourself and your dad and your family teaches is planning and investing and planning for your future. It's the same thing. When you look at the data today, the amount that we spend as a country on healthcare from preventable diseases, this is according to the CDC, and this is according to the American Medical Association, is we spend trillions, we lose trillions of dollars a year on preventable diseases like type 2 diabetes, a lot of inflammatory diseases. 98% of diseases today, according to some studies, are not genetic, they're actually due to an unhealthy lifestyle and not eating healthy. So all that being said, I really think if people are practicing what I call preventative medicine or preventative nutrition, it goes a long way. So somebody might look and say, you know what? And on average, the statistics are you're going to spend about 20 to 25% more by buying organic, healthy food. You're going to spend more. But in terms of the data of what you will save 20 years from now,
from medical bills and everything.
From medical bills, it's not even a comparison.
Wow.
And so again, just keeping that in mind and saying, my health is important, my nutrition is important, I'm going to invest in my health in prevention. And so sometimes taking that supplement or eating that superfood or just saying, hey, I'm gonna sub, green leafy vegetables instead of, the processed cookie or French fries over here. That is preventative medicine, and that goes a long way into somebody being healthy and saving money long term.
Yeah, it's so funny. I feel like how health and money run so parallel in the habits and the mindset. Because like you're saying, you guys, we talk about investing and changing your legacy on the financial side, but your health side is so important and what you're putting in your body. And I'm preaching to the choir of myself. I'm telling myself this because, like we said earlier, it can get expensive, when you change your lifestyle to a healthier lifestyle, you guys, but it's an investment that is so worth it. It's worth it in your health and how you feel, in the long run for sure. And so remember to be budgeting for this, you guys, and make sure to use every dollar, which is now inside our subscription of Ramsey Plus. You can check that out at RamseySolutions.com. All right, Dr. Axe, where can everyone find you?
Everybody can find me at draxe.com. It's my website. And also, I run a supplement company called Ancient Nutrition. And our products, we have collagen protein, probiotics, multis, and they're in Whole Foods Market, Sprouts, Target. Awesome. They're in places all over the country. And also social media, Dr. Josh Axe on Instagram and Facebook. And those are some of the best places.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for being here again. Seriously, diving into this topic because our money health is important, but also obviously our physical health and who we are as people. So thanks for all the insight and all the wisdom.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Thanks.